All right, so Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 features overview. So pretty much they're like the beta's dropping for like PlayStation stuff like that on the 16th, and then I think Xbox and PC get on the 22nd. I might be wrong on that, but pretty much they like dropped everything in a day at like the event or whatever. So let's check it out, okay?
Oh boy, there are a ton of new features.
Yeah, Call of Duty next.
With this game, but we really pushed forward even the most fundamental aspects of what makes a Call of Duty game.
Okay, so they're what's new, Gunsmith, maps, modes, beta. Okay, cool. Nice. I muted it, didn't I? I'm a dumbass.
Amazing for me to
Here we
come
go.
on board this past year and see these innovations coming to life, to hear Jeff jump into, you know, breaking down the 1v1. And personally for me, water. Our water, I've seen the memes, we love water. It's really hard to make in games.
Yeah, because I heard that they're like water is gonna be something, so like you can like there's gonna be like underwater combat and stuff like that. Interesting, I guess. I don't know how it's gonna work and shit like that, but
vehicles in the water. I think that level
we'll
of
see.
Is really going to speak to fans, and has been something that I've really enjoyed playing the last couple months.
Aquatic combat. Steph loves to swim. Joe, can we go into some details about our water-based adventures in MW2?
Yeah, how is this gonna even work, dude? Like, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting because, like, I don't know.
Water, and we knew we didn't have time, right? So in Verdansk, we froze the rivers and we made the outskirts just a kill trigger. In this game, as soon as we started Modern Warfare 2, we leaned into water, both visually, beautiful caustics. There's waves with white caps.
You could throw a proximity mine on that shit.
But we also, the gameplay side, there's unique ballistics underwater. You only can use certain
yeah,
weapons underwater.
that's also one thing. It's like, how is the ballistics gonna work?
Your pistol is your weapon underwater. Otherwise, you can't use your primary weapons. But it's also
that answers my question. I'm thinking, cause I'm like, how are you gonna do it underwater and shit like that?
If you're getting shot at, you can dive into the water, and as you get deeper, it gets murkier. Like the farther you are from something, you can't see it, and so.
That's kind of cool, actually.
Super fun for us to dig into water.
I'm excited
really
for that, I guess.
What water could be in Call of Duty, and you saw the boats and the mine that floats, and every piece of equipment, has been filtered. Like, how does it work through water? Like, we had to look at everything in the game and say, how does it work in water? What's the best version?
Our vehicles will just slowly submerge. Yeah, really would instead of blinking out.
Yeah, everything.
A lot of details.
The behaviors are awesome.
Interesting.
Oh my God. Well, I can't quite wait to literally, dip my toes into those waters. But guys, let's not forget about the ground and the air. Like, I mean, what else is going to be coming to the movement system, Joe? What do we got?
Well, you know, last game we did mount, and we had slide, and even though we're a military shooter, fluid movement is super important to us. So this game, as you saw in the trailer, you can see here on the video, we have a new ledge hang mechanic, and that's essentially
that's actually going to be cool.
Doing a high mantle and throwing yourself up over into combat.
Yeah, because isn't slide canceling going to be canceled? Like, that's not going to be in the game or anything like that?
If you have a pistol, you can.
I heard dolphin diving's back, which I'm very excited for.
We also added a dive. You know, last game we had the slide that kept your gun up, but we really wanted players to have an option where if they're getting shot at, they don't know where they're getting shot at, they can get down, get out of fire. But the other really cool thing is the dive's just high enough to let you get through a window. And so if you throw a grenade up into a building second...
Yeah, because it was either dolphin dive or slide, but that's cool that they're adding like both in.
Players, you know, like
it's not going to be like Modern Warfare or slide cancel everywhere. Like, Jesus, but it's going to be...
in combat.
You know.
Yeah, and all of these dynamic movements mean you can interact with vehicles specifically in a very cool way. I'm gonna save some of that gas for when we get to Warzone 2.0. But,
okay.
It's just really exciting.
All right,
nice
details to come. But now, guys, let's talk about equipment. Obviously, Call of Duty, crazy sandbox, a lot of cool toys to play with. Joe, what are some of the new dynamite, new items that we're going to be throwing at each other and equipping and using and all sorts in the next game?
I mean, you saw some cool stuff in the trailer. You saw the drill charge, you saw the shock stick. One of the other cool ones you saw is the inflatable decoy. And this is a mine that you can throw out, and it basically sits there, and if a player gets close to it, it auto-deploys and basically inflates like a car airbag going off.
Oh, it's just like...
It faces the person that triggered it, and so it's a great distraction technique. You can also fire it off with a clacker if you want to control when it goes off. You can throw it in water, and here you just saw the DDoS. We added all this equipment into this game, and the DDoS...
The fucking community is going to abuse the actual shit out of those decoys.
Our kind of answer of like, hey, I'm going to breach this building. I want to go clean house, but I don't want to deal with all the shit inside. So I'm going to hit the DDoS.
Imagine a full team people just throwing down the decoys.
Boom, it's going to shut down
Perfect
everything. And I can move
Oh, a
in,
bunch of
yeah,
trolls,
clear
dude.
that room.
I love it.
You saw the heartbeat sensor is back. It's got a new look. But it
Nice.
also has a battery as a balancing mechanic, so you can't use it indefinitely in Warzone. And there's
Ah,
This is the tag
interesting.
cam, too,
Yeah.
which
Okay.
I saw, which to me is
I guess that nerfs it,
a
but
personal
makes
favorite.
sense. You
can
can just
put
run around with the
a lot of
heartbeat
them, and you
24/7.
can patch into your teammates, so you can. It gets a little crazy.
Yeah, kind of like a sticky GoPro, but will actually mark your enemies for your team.
Yeah.
So it's. I expect to see a lot of fun
There's so
moments
many,
with that today.
so many toys and new tools that we just want players to get in and play with. I think there's something like 13 field upgrades, you know,
Oh my
between
God.
Warzone and Core MP, and it's
That's just
pretty awesome.
overkill.
Until they all get DDoS. All this talk about equipment, it reminds me, I mean, that's one element to look at now, but we've also got Gunsmith, brand new Gunsmith. Guys, what can you tell me about it, and how will it change the way that we level our weapons and manage them? I mean, what's going on there?
Yeah, so the new Gunsmith allows players to build out their weapons more smoothly than ever before. We put out some videos yesterday for the Intel drop. I hope people dig into those if you want a better look at Gunsmith 2.0. But we're really looking at unprecedented opportunities for weapon customization. And the new weapon platforming will actually allow players to unlock universal attachments through cross progression.
I was seeing
We
shit
saw a lot
about
of really
this.
positive feedback from the community.
Yeah, because it's like if I think they were. I watched the one video and it made it so complicated. But I'm pretty sure what they're getting at is if you have one weapon and you unlock all the attachments for it, it unlocks all the attachments for every single gun in that class. So like assault rifle, you're like, I want to use M4 for example, and you level it up and you get all the attachments for it. You don't have to go grind every single other like assault rifle in that class. It unlocks all of them for you, which makes it easier. So you don't have to just sit there fucking grinding every goddamn fucking weapon like in Modern Warfare.
Today, this is sort of intended to, decrease the grind. You're no longer on
What I've literally been saying.
For every single weapon, there will be some shared attachments through progression. And I'm really excited to see the streamers and the content creators jump into this today. I know we all love the gun bench from 2019, so it's exciting.
This does sound amazing. So we've been hearing a little bit about weapon platforms and shared attachments. This is very, very cool stuff. Can you dive into those details, though, Joe? I mean, what can we expect?
Yeah, I can add a little bit of what Stephanie said. We had this vision last game with Gunsmith. And we were like, okay, what if you could take an assault rifle and you could make it an SMG? And that was our driving kind of like.
Why would you do that?
System.
Okay,
And
I'm
we
not
kinda
going to ask
looked at
questions.
You could take it functionally through attachments, but the weapon name wouldn't change, and we couldn't change the receiver. And really, that's the key thing this game is you can go into Gunsmith, you can set up an AK-47 assault rifle with a thermal optic, with a suppressor, with a grip. And then you can say, you know what, I want to change up the playstyle of this gun. You can swap out the receiver to the AK-74U, make it an SMG, but you can keep that optic, that suppressor, that grip, they all come with. And to what Stephanie said, we have shared attachments within these platforms. We have branching progression. You unlock those guns by playing with other guns. And then we have shared attachments across all guns. And it's all to hit this vision of I'm building up an arsenal of weapons and an arsenal of attachments. I'm sitting down to my gun bench and I'm going to...
Pretty much, it's like just a bajillion fucking combinations you can create of a weapon. Which is good because, like, for people who have OCD and shit like that, it's good for, like, oh, I can make this and, like, all that cool customization. But, like, just want a gun that's going to be good and just decent. And then I'm just going to rock with it.
I think maybe the simplest way to think about it is a gun tree, and each time you hit a branch, that's a receiver, and they grow out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's, we wanted to ground that in reality. Functionally, a receiver, is based in that, changing the weapon type. And I think it provides a really seamless experience for players looking to build out the perfect weapon for a multitude of play styles. So you're going to be able to jump into that platform,
Yeah,
and customize however you want.
Yeah, so like for long range or like for short range or like medium combat, like that makes sense. But then it's just like, I don't know. I like what they're going with it though. I get it. It seems good, but
FJX Cinder weapon vault in action
just seems like
today,
so.
It's
just
entirely unlocked platform.
I feel like it's gonna be overwhelming for like a lot of people, but I hope it's like a simple like I don't know.
The M4, the Mic 4, and the weapon vault maintains its aesthetic properties across all corresponding attachments. So we've heard you talk about the Frankenprint. This is our answer. It's an extremely rare. This is a huge, project for our art teams to design these, but it is.
That is true. Whoever has to design all these different types of weapons and stuff like that, like the different like customization shit. Oh my
ultimate
god,
weapon
dude.
blueprint. And even better, you can unlock the entire Cinder weapon vault with the Vault Edition of Modern Warfare 2. Playable in beta.
Available in
If you pay money for it, you get it.
beta, so we can rock
Nice.
all weekend long. Okay, so Gunsmith looks incredible. Okay, I'm excited. I cannot wait to get into this one soon. Our streamers are going to get into this one soon as well. But first, guys, we need to hear about maps and modes. We've got our tools to play with, equipment, weapons, maps and modes, though. Let's get into this one. Let's get into the design team, the philosophy, I suppose, behind building out maps. But Jeff, this is for you.
Yeah, you know, right from the start, we knew we wanted to build another big map, not only for Battle Royale, but also for this other mode that we've been working on for quite a long time.
I read about
They're
that.
just not going to tell us. They're just not going to tell us. Okay.
But, you know, when you lay out these big maps, it's kind of a collection of all these little POIs, these points of interest. And within each of these, we've really fine-tuned that they can play large-scale core modes like Ground War, and a bunch of others really well. And so, you know, stepping back from this large map and looking at how much open world sandboxy gameplay that we have, we looked back at our 6v6 maps and really tried to refine and make them a tighter experience to contrast all this big world kind of exploratory gameplay. So the maps for 6v6, in comparison to the last game, they're just a little bit more straightforward, a little bit more refined, and I think fans will really enjoy how quick they play.
That sounds
cool.
A lot of diversity in those maps
Cool.
as well. A lot of visual variety, some colorful maps in there, and
I just hope they add like a lot of content because we're not going to get the next Treyarch Black Ops game until like 2024. So I don't want them just like keep the game active for 3 months and then just dies in a hole. I hope they keep it up for
they feel really clean.
amount of time, or they don't just give up. Like they're just like, oh fuck multiplayer and let's just go all the Warzone and shit like that. Like I want both to prosper and thrive, but
here on air. We've got some of
I can only hope.
we are going to be seeing in MW2. Starting with one, we've got a real fun one here, guys. This is one of the aforementioned battle maps. Team, can you give me some details on Sarif Bay?
So Sarif Bay is this little fishing town in the south coast of our big map.
Looks
And
good.
We picked this because it has such a great mix of gameplay. It's right on a harbor, so we get to show off all our boats and our new amphibious APC.
Nice.
And, you know, swimming.
That fish is chilling. Look at him. Look at him. Just fucking chilling.
But what you get inside the town is this really intense urban combat with all these tight little alleyways and all this great rooftop.
I don't know why I'm watching this. I want to play this game, dude.
You get these really cool parkour combat.
Every year. It's for everyone. We get so excited about Call of Duty, and then it's just like, I don't know. It's just up in the air sometimes, especially the past like couple of years. So I'm really hoping they do well on this.
Yeah, I love how you describe the rooftops there on this map specifically as like a separate ecosystem. You can kind of migrate that entire vertical.
You can go up there and just hang out and fight other snipers.
All right, well, that looks fantastic. Jeff, okay, so that's one of our larger maps. What about some of the 6v6 maps? I think we have some footage of one of the new maps that we're going to be seeing today, named Mercado Las Almas. Do you mind giving us some details on this one?
Sure. Mercado is a little street market in a historic section in Mexico. Our story behind this is, you know, the authorities have some intel that narcotics are being smuggled out of a warehouse, and they're going in trying to find and seize them. This map plays really fast and a lot of action right down that center lane.
Nice.
The Mercado is a very dangerous neck of the woods, so watch out when you're playing in the beta. It plays fast.
Cannot wait, really cannot wait. Looks fantastic, and again, interesting to see you know, how that ties into campaigns and whatnot. All sorts of fun and games ahead of us. Looks amazing. Battle maps, core maps, 6v6, all this looks fantastic. But let's go back to modes. So we've seen some maps. What about the modes being played on battle maps? We will have the return of Ground War, but we've got a new large-scale mode that you've alluded to, right? Let's talk Invasion.
So Invasion is it's a big war map. It's Big War TDM, or we affectionately call it the shipment of
Only objective is to eliminate or be eliminated, fight other players, and AI combats for a massive deathmatch.
Ground War. It's 20v20 players, but there's also 20 AI on each team.
Oh my God.
They're coming in fast roping. They're coming in on medium birds.
Fighting
it's
bots.
This high action mode. It's super fun, but it's also really chill. The announcer's not barking at you. He's not saying like, "Hey, get to B." You know, they're taking C. You can kind of play it how you want to play it. You sit up on a rooftop and snipe. You can grab a shotgun and go room clearing. If you push too far into the enemy's base, AI will come hunt you. But we've also been really conscious of where we put AI in multiplayer. We didn't put AI in kill streaks or anything like that because we don't want AI showing up in search and destroy. We don't want AI in domination. This mode, though, however, was built for AI, and it's a super fun mode. Can't wait for people to try it.
Interesting.
A funny aside, you know, we took the name Ground War from a playlist in MW2, and that was just large-scale TDM and DOM. And we kind of did the DOM in the last game, and now we're able to add kind of the sandbox TDM, and so we're kind of completing the cycle of that that old playlist.
Yeah.
Well, this large-scale stuff looks amazing. This looks so awesome. And okay, so what about the new 6v6 modes? Let's keep dialing it in closer and closer.
Let's go.
What have we got?
Yeah, so we also have 2 new 6v6 modes that you're going to be seeing here played today, and they will be in beta in Prisoner Rescue and Knockout.
Prisoner Rescue. Is this like Rainbow Six Siege type shit?
Prisoner Rescue. Okay, let's go into Prisoner Rescue first, Joe.
Locate the hostages and get them out alive or defend them at all costs.
So Prisoner Rescue is an attack and defend mode. It's a round-based mode. The defenders have 2 prisoners. They're kind of spread out, and they need to keep hold of them. The goal of the attackers is to get to those prisoners, pick them up, and carry them to exfil. When you pick them up, you enter
This is literally Siege.
carry, where they're up on your shoulders and you can't use your primary weapons.
Oh, that's
Instead, you have
tough.
to use a pistol if you brought it, or you're just stuck with fists. But the way that we give the attackers an advantage once they grab that prisoner is they get a radar sweep for their team, so they can call out where the defenders are. And the objective icon over the prisoner goes away as soon as they scoop them up. So now the defenders have to basically rotate back to the exfil and set up defensive positions. And it's this heart-pounding, adrenaline-pushing like mode once you grab that prisoner and try and get them out.
Yeah, that hero run to exfil is
Definitely
Kind of hyped for that, actually.
You know, big S&D.
I don't know how that's gonna play eventually, but
resonates with me.
good
my
idea.
time in esports. So this is my personal favorite of the new ones, and also sort of the strategic revives that happen. There is a revive mechanic, and so you are able to pick up your teammates. And
Interesting.
I've seen some pretty wild comebacks in our playtest so far.
It was a lot of fun. We got to play a tiny bit yesterday. It was amazing. Incredibly fun, and I know the community is going to love diving into it over the next week. Okay, I can hardly believe that there's actually a lot more content to get through, but there's one more thing I have to bring up. I have the honor of officially announcing that third-person view is finally coming to Modern Warfare 2. What are the details behind this one? We got a little teaser of it on stage from Pat.
Third-person Call of Duty. Okay.
Yeah, you saw a little hint of it in the trailer, too. It's been a pet project for us, right? We've always wanted to do third-person.
Oh, what the? That's sick, but at the same time, that's so trippy.
And all while we're working on all this other stuff, we've been kind of lifting up and doing third person in each mode. And the cool thing is that it's a modifier on our game, right? We can just turn on third person. In the beta, we're playing it in Hardpoint, but we want to try it post-launch in S&D. We want to try it in VR. And we have, you know, camera work. The camera collision's been reworked. It handles tight spaces. There's a water camera. There's an interior camera. You can feel the weapon shake when you're firing with it.
My
Just, we put a lot of work into it, and we're excited for people to give it a try.
Incredible. I can't wait to see what third-person COD feels like in 2022. Sexy skins and everything. This is a lot of information, Steph. Like, there's a ton here.
I tried to warn you. We're delivering a lot of new features for you guys to try out ahead of release. And I said we were going to be bold with this beta, and we are, but there's even more to come at launch. So this is just a taste.
How is this just a taste? How can there be even more? I mean,
we haven't even got to Warzone yet.
Not even, okay. Okay, so what about this year's third mode?
So I'm happy to say that Special Ops will return as our third mode, and will be focused on...
This is interesting because they fumbled the bag heavy on Modern Warfare Special Ops. Oh my gosh, did they?
Player missions, asymmetrical in game design. So think one player on air support, one player on the ground.
Okay.
And I think the OG fans will be really excited because we've looked at, you know, some of the iconic Modern Warfare missions like Overwatch, and really tried to implement some of those themes into the design. So we'll be talking more about Special Ops in the months to come.
Steph, you're
Okay.
saying I should be looking now for a Special Ops partner.
Sitting right next to you.
All right. Well, okay.